I've seen this in myself as well as in a few other people where your hands aren't quite symmetrical while you're turning. And this doesn't matter as much for big cubes because you want your hand to be a little bit different on one side so that you can have more stability while turning the cube. But on 3x3, that doesn't matter nearly as much, and you should be able to have your hands almost completely symmetrical when you're turning. The biggest thing that this causes is that finger tricks and turning in general is a lot harder on the hand you do this. And it usually looks like this, where your hand is twisted down to support the cube more. And you'll notice it if your fingers are straight when doing U2s, and you hit it with more right here on your finger instead of with the pads of your finger. And this can just make it way harder to do finger tricks and turning on your left hand in general. And while not being used to turning with your left hand can be a big part of it, having your hand down like this can also make it a lot harder to do a lot of the finger tricks that you'd normally want to be able to do on both hands. I would guess this comes from the right hand dominant algorithms in things like PLL and OLL, but it could come from other things as well. So yeah, really this can just make it so that your turning feels awkward, especially in your left hand. Your fingers are just flying all over the place. It's a lot harder to do things like pinch moves on the top, even sometimes F moves, and everything is just not super great. So how you can start to fix this is just try to match your hands, like look at your hands and see if you can get them to look almost like they're in a mirror of each other, and then just try turning like this. You can even try just getting used to some finger tricks to start, and then slowly working your hand up to be the same as your right. Because ultimately, you can start doing this whenever, but especially if you're sub 20 or beyond, you should try to be putting your hand symmetrical like this, because it just helps so much with turning, especially with F2L when you have to do more advanced algorithms and finger tricks. For some examples of finger tricks that use this, there's the double flick, which instead of doing something like this, you want to bring your hand up. So you're curling your fingers in like that. Also the pinch from the top. Again, you can drop this middle finger if you want to do this. It can also make it a little bit easier for pushes. Granted, for some algorithms, you are going to have to do this anyway. For like a U-perm, when you're going to use these moves, you are going to have to shift your hand down a little bit. Otherwise, it just kind of doesn't really work that well. But other than that, you can do this pretty much all the time. Yes, this does take some time to get used to, and you have to really pay attention to it. But once you're there, turning just feels so much better.